Hello, my darling loves. Happy Sunday. And welcome back. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Witch Weekly with yours truly. Happy Pisces season. Happy Mercury direct. There is a lot happening up in the cosmos. And right now, I don't want to waste any more time. I want to get to it. Tonight's show is brewing and bubbling over, as I promised, with Astro Alchemy updates galore. I'm also going to shine a little light again on the crystal corner. It's hiding in here. And I've decided to pull us an oracle card for some guidance this week. I want to keep mixing it up, keeping it fresh and interesting. Speaking of fresh and interesting, not really either one of those, but I'm gonna share it anyway. This sweater. I love this sweater. I've had this sweater for probably over 20 years and I never get rid of it. Every time I go through my clothes in my closet, I always keep it. But I have not worn it in so long. And I was going through my closet, put something on to wear, because I have to put clothes on for the show, of course. So I'm gonna put the sweater on. And I always wear black, right? I mean, I have gray underneath here. But I love this sweater. And it was from, I'm gonna date myself and I don't really care. Pardon my eyeball. Any of you, please pop it in the comments and let me know if you remember getting the Delia's catalog in the mail and wanting to order all kinds of clothes from there. And my mom would always be like, no, it's too expensive. No, it's cheap, whatever. But then I'd end up getting like a whole bunch for Christmas. It'd be really cool. And I'd turn the page corners down of the things that I wanted and circle them. So this was a Delia's catalog staple. And I'm so glad that I kept it because it reminds me of my youth. It reminds me of the 90s. It reminds me of my mom. And I love all of those things. So after I have a sip of this delicious, tasty beverage, first, I want to go back to the 17th of this month, which wasn't that long ago, where we have our first aspect that I want to talk about. And it was Saturn square to Uranus. Now, this is the first of 3 of these transits. It'll happen again on June 14th, and it'll happen again on December 24th. Squares in astrology are kind of difficult aspects. They're involved in tensions and frictions and challenges. It can cause difficult conversations. This is happening, this transit, this aspect is happening between 2 planets, Saturn and Uranus. Could it be any more different, Chandler? It's the clash of traditional rules and revolutionary change. Old versus new, sort of, basically. Pardon me. You could have felt last week, and it's still going to trickle into this week. When you have these outer planet transits, it's not like when the moon, it's not like a full moon, or it's not like the more personal planets. It lingers, it lasts a little bit longer. So you could be feeling conflicted on things. This is all about finding your footing, finding your own personal balance. And of course, once you do, and once you feel settled into it, it's going to come right back up again before you know it. So take this first go around to really search for what you're after. What do you want to achieve? Things are constantly in flux, right? Change is the only constant in life, but resisting it is pointless. The most efficient way to approach this is to flow with it and through it, keeping true to yourself, your values, your unique vibes, and listening to what feels true to you. That's going to be the key and the clutch element here to surviving through these transits. So again, it was on the 17th. So if you felt last week that things were a little tough, a little rough, a little ragged around the edges, a lot of tension, maybe butting heads, you can blame Saturn and Uranus. But it's going to come up again on June 14th and December 24th. Don't worry, you don't have to write them down. You can if you want to, so you want to be prepared. But don't worry, I'm here for you. I'll bring it back up again. Right, so the next transit, which occurred the next day on the 18th, is that the sun moved into Pisces. I always think of, and I made that noise on purpose, I always think of the gals from Bo Batten's Academy in Harry Potter when they come through the Great Hall when they first enter and they make that motion. That's what I think of when the sun, I was thinking of that earlier when I was writing this, that the sun like floating into Pisces. That's that vibe, right? For some of us, this is marvelous. Others, possibly not so much. I feel, well, yes, we are all going to feel. But me personally, I feel with my moon, my Mars, and my rising, all in Pisces, I have a deep connection to this sign. And it has, you know, Pisces has a deep connection, period. And it's the 12th sign of the zodiac, right? It's the last sign of the zodiac. It is the symbol of the two fish, also the two halves of the circle of spirit, connecting the higher to the lower self. Pisces is all about healing. It's all about transforming. It's ruled by Jupiter. I'm going to change my page of notes to the next one. Thank you very much. I'm going to change this song also too. I don't know if anyone can hear the music in the background, but I thought in honor of Pisces season, I would put on one of my favorite Pisces, Kurt Cobain. So yeah, it's ruled by Jupiter. It's connected to trust, to faith, trust, and pixie dust. And faith in yourself, faith in the universe, faith in spirit, whatever you connect to. Pisces is there to link you up with it. Another sip. And like I said, Pisces is traditionally ruled by Jupiter in traditional astrology. Modern astrology, ruled by Neptune. I see both planets represented within this sign. With the way Pisces doesn't like to stay within a box or within boundaries, floating free and being expansive. That's Jupiter, right? This dreamy, aspiring, magical vibe from Neptune. Pisces are they can be musicians. They're the mystics, the psychics, the dreamers, the spiritual ambassadors. I took a quote from Kevin Burke's book, Understanding the Birth Chart. Pisces has a fundamental understanding that we are all part of the same universe, that there is truly no separation between any of us. And we are all one. We are all connected. And we are all connected. And that whole 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, I think. And the older you get, the world seems to get smaller, right? You move different places, you go out, and someone knows someone who knows someone who's connected to them, and you have a mutual friend in common. I mean, look at social media, how we all can find ways of connecting to one another, right? Pisces is also an incredibly empathic sign. We feel everything. So how does this relate to those of you that don't have a heavy Pisces influence in your chart? And for the next few weeks while the sun is transiting through here, you may notice you are feeling everything, that you are highly emotional, that you are picking up on other people's stuff. So check in, tune in with yourself. When you're feeling a certain way or just something seems amiss or something seems right, just check in. Is this my stuff? Or am I running off of someone else's energy? It's a really important thing I ask myself on a daily basis, being an empath and having psychic abilities. It keeps things in perspective. If you're feeling wonky, really tune in and listen to yourself. Is this mine? And you'll get an inkling. You'll know. Oh no, I gotta get out of here. I gotta switch this perspective. I gotta switch this gear. I gotta do something different. And that's okay. You know, that's totally fine. And like self-care is really important. When you're really feeling and you're really running high on emotions, self-care is even more important. So just keep that in mind this month. But you can also come across some really wonderful spiritual connections or intuitive flashes, or dream up something marvelous and really put something into action. And that brings me to my final transit that I want to touch on. I told you I had a few. And that's that Mercury went direct yesterday. Yay, on the 20th. So I know everyone hates Mercury retrograde. I don't really hate it that much. I have it retrograde in my natal chart, so it sort of actually helps me plan things out and function a certain way. But some people, I hate it. It doesn't work. Everything's garbage and trash, and I can't wait for it to be over. And that's fine. Your feelings are very valid. So, but you know, communication and things can get stifled while it's, you know, while it's retrograde. So that's a thing to be aware of. But now it's full steam ahead, right? We still have the shadow period for a little bit, but we can get moving with those projects that you've been mapping out and planning and putting together. Take the energy of Pisces season and dream big and trust in your guts and in the universal energy, my darling. And you can also grab one of these beauties. So this is aquamarine. I have a couple of little tinier pieces, but this is one of my favorite bigger ones. It's a very interesting shape. And aquamarine is a stone that is connected to Pisces. That's why I chose it. And it embodies and helps provide courage, which it usually is not associated with, but it does. It's also calming, very soothing, and it aids in alleviating stress, which we love. And Judy Hall, in her Crystal Bible book, says that in ancient times, it was believed, aquamarine, not Aquarius, aquamarine, to counteract the forces of darkness and procure favor from the spirits of light. Psychologically, aquamarine has an affinity with sensitive people, and it has the power to invoke tolerance of others, which is wonderful. It's an incredible stone for the throat chakra, for our center of communication and expression. It aligns, it shields the aura, and it can also help with your clarity of perception. So this might be a really important crystal for you right now, if you're looking for that. And it has a really nice, soothing, calming greenish bluish color too. So I always find that that's, of course, color is, can be really impactful. So get yourself some aquamarine. All right. And the last little tidbit tonight, we're going to do an oracle card. This is from the Witch's Oracle. Who's this by? I have my glasses on. Marla Brooks. Fine print. Don't get old. No, I'm just kidding. It's a fine print and it's a little dark over here. Okay. I love the front of these cards. They match my sweater. Okay. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone's having a wonderful weekend or week or whenever you're watching this. I want to get a conversation going, so pop in the comments and feel free to say hi. Let me know how you're feeling. One more shuffle. And one fell out. And there we have it. On the floor. Ooh. It's also red. We're a theme of colors tonight. The magic wand. Let's consult this little guidebook. I'm gonna pull my glasses out so I can read. But yeah, this is Marla Brooks and Ayuna Khan. Okay. The magic wand. It is said that the oldest and most famous magician's tool is the magic wand. Some consider it to be a symbol of divine wisdom. Others see it as a portable, handy version of a broom. Wands and references to wands can be found throughout history and in all cultures. The preferred method for crafting a wand is from a fallen tree branch rather than cutting from a live tree. The wood from which the wand is made determines its purpose. For example, apple wood is good for divination, ebony is favored for defensive magic, and while oak is excellent for protection, defense, prosperity, and sacrifice. All magic wands found throughout history are said to be able to transmit energy to anything and anywhere. It is a focus point of your energy to channel magic into a specific place for a specific purpose. By receiving this card in a reading, you are given the gift of being able to achieve what has been eluding you for some time, or the ability to make whatever changes in your life that need to be made. Wands are associated with yang energy, the power to create change. Use your wand to focus your energy and make it happen. Incantation. Magical tool in my hand. The future will be very grand. If you help me wave away the useless ways of yesterday, change is necessary. Change is good. I now embrace it as I should. Perfect. And I was talking about change before and things being in flux. How perfect. And what a marvelous note to end on, my loves. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Of course, you can always find me on my website, www.laurenannalchemy.com. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm also on Clubhouse now, working that one out. I'm also going to be on TikTok soon too. I've got some really cool things that I am putting together for the springtime. I can't wait. It's going to be fucking awesome. I love you all so very much. And I will see you next time. Stay wild and stay absolutely weird. Mwah.